What's going on, MBL Network? We are live, MBL 360 podcast. This is episode number, number 4, number 5? I think it's episode number 4 here. I'm just going to check on Neon Sports real quick. Yeah, this is going to be episode number 4, MBL 360 podcast, MBL season 52. And we have a special edition today. This is going to be the Thanksgiving edition, all set up by my man, Sonny Weaver. I'm going to come along too with some happenings. We're going to see how we're going to do it. Sonny, lead us in how we want to get this rocking and rolling. We got a couple fun things to do. It's going to be a short episode today. Hope you guys enjoy your holiday weekend coming up, or your holiday festivities happening tomorrow.
Yeah, so we were like, what can we do, right? Thanksgiving, it's right here, it's right now. So we thought we'd get a little more festive than usual here on MBL 360. And so got to thinking, how do you really think about Thanksgiving? When you think about Thanksgiving, you think about the feast, the food, right? There's tiers. Everybody ranks their Thanksgiving foods. And we thought maybe we would compare the foods to the MBL teams because there's a lot of similarities, right? So Bomber, I'll kind of start off first. I'm going to start with what a lot of people consider the main course, right? What a lot of people consider the traditional hallmark of Thanksgiving. I'm going to talk about the turkey. Right, the turkey, man. It's what people spend hours and hours cooking on the Thanksgiving. But I'll be honest, Bomber, turkey's overrated.
Yeah,
turkey's not good.
Okay.
It's dry most of the time, right? Everybody acts like.
So you're gonna tell me
turkey,
somebody in the league is this turkey you're describing, right? Just to keep everybody on the same page.
Yeah,
something's coming.
Somebody's the turkey. So when we say who's the turkey, I'm going to say the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are the turkey of MBL. And here's why. The Indianapolis Colts, they're overrated. They're sitting at 9-2. I get it, right? Like, 9-2, Anthony Richardson, potential MVP, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, they're just overrated. So I think, our Colts, they're the turkey.
So what do you think is overrated about them? The passing attack, the rushing attack? You see AR helping this run game, really subsidizing a run game that isn't necessarily doing great. It's doing good, but with him running too, it's a well-oiled machine. You don't see a ton of passing yards. So where's the weakness at? Where's the overrated Colts? Have they not played anybody? Have they not shown you that they're there to take that next step? How are they overrated?
I just don't expect much from them, right? You hear a lot of hype about it. I expect them to be one and done. I think Houston is still the better team in that division. I look for those guys to probably be on upset alert in the wild card round.
Houston Texans are a good team. That's going to be a nice battle to watch. Houston and Indianapolis down the stretch. And don't forget about the 10. No, I guess we can forget about them. So
we can forget about them.
What do we have next?
Yeah, so let's kind of move this along. Let's do one good. Bomber, I don't know about you, but I think the food that is the best food for Thanksgiving, and people hopefully agree with me here, stuffing. Stuffing is the best, right? You throw a little gravy on there. It's hard to have bad stuffing, right? Year in, year out, stuffing is good. It's a little underrated, right? Like it's just that side dish. But I'm telling you, it's the star of Thanksgiving, and nobody talks enough about stuffing. I'll tell you that. MBL, I'm going to tell you the stuffing of MBL. It's the Carolina Panthers, right? The Carolina Panthers, they're massively underrated. They are a star team. We saw them last year. They had a great season. They had a little bit of a trip up there in the playoffs, and but you expect them to go far. This year, they're doing amazing. Probably not getting the recognition, right? Nobody's talking about the Panthers. You talk about the NFC, you still hear about Seattle, which is still a very good team. You hear about the Detroit Lions. Nobody is talking about the Carolina Panthers. So they're kind of my underrated superstar of NBL.
Well, here's why. Let me get into this. Carolina, they're more like the Rolls. They're always on the table. They're always in the conversation. But the minute you leave that damn table, no one's talking about the Rolls anymore. No one cares. It's not mentioned. It is basically, it was pretty good for the time. It just didn't really do nothing for me to take away from this table and continue to talk about it. That's the Carolina Panthers to me, and that's the team I'm on right now. You see me with the energy on the Steelers. I was wrong. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I'm on these Panthers, and I think they're the biggest frauds at 11-0 I've ever seen in my life. Maybe how you feel about the Colts, but I think they're always good to be in the conversation. they just don't get it done when it needs to get done, and they've had some one and done upsets in the playoffs that have given a lot of people reserve about going all in Carolina, even while they're sitting right now undefeated.
I mean, look. So you're saying the Panthers are your turkey. I get it, right? And I know Lip just got here. Yes, turkey is bad, Lip. I'm sorry. It's the most overhyped holiday food ever. Ham is even a better option. I'll tell you, one of the best things happening right now is, and I don't know if you guys do it, Bombers, a little bit of like brisket, smoked brisket at Thanksgiving. My brother-in-law does it. It's great. It's great.
I love smoked brisket, but that's more of when my mom needs us all to come over, and my dad's willing to sacrifice his night for it thing. But yeah, we don't get it on Thanksgiving, but okay, I'm with you. I love brisket.
All right. Lip says Pizza Hut for him. Well, that's good. Quibble with the brisket tomorrow. That's awesome. See, I know I like to quibble. All right, so let's go to the last one here. I'm going to talk a little bit about cranberry dressing, right? Cranberry sauce, and not the good kind either, right? We're going to talk about the one you open up the can, you plop it down there, right? And it just kind of jiggles there in the shape of a can. And everybody's just kind of like, it's there. It's on the table. Did you get the cranberry sauce out? And somebody's like, oh, crap, I forgot it. I got to go get it out of the pantry and then, open it up and dump it on the plate. And, people may pick at it, but nobody really cares, right? Cranberry sauce is just there. In MBL, that's the Las Vegas Raiders. Right, like the Las Vegas Raiders, they're just there. They're just in MBL, right? You got Tua just slinging interceptions left and right. Love Fat, he's here, right? Just doing his thing. Maybe he'll tweet, maybe he won't. We don't know. But yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders are my cranberry sauce.
So Project Fat is the cranberry sauce. I would think it could have gone the direction of the most highest caloric intake.
Well, I mean, I guess that's true too. But look, hey, you got to have cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving. It's just half the time nobody's going to eat it.
That's pretty. All right. Well, let's move on. What else you got? Who's the deviled eggs? Is that a thing?
Deviled eggs are a thing, but I don't eat them, so I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not here to knock or prop up something I won't eat, but I'll talk about something that's probably getting all of the hype, all of the accolades. They are the star of Thanksgiving in most people's eyes, right? Maybe if you're not the stuffing fan, this is your side of choice. We're going to talk about mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about the baked mac and cheese with the extra cheese thrown on top, and you get it nice and crispy, right? And you dig in there, and that's the star right there, guys. That's the thing that everybody's going for, that everybody's cleaning their plates, going back for seconds. It's what everybody's talking about, is that mac and cheese. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody right now is talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. That offense has come alive. Kenny Pickett actually looking really good this year. The trade for TJ Watt for Deebo Samuel, we've seen that work out very well for the Steelers. They're the talk of the town. They're the belle of the ball. They're the mac and cheese of MBL.
Yeah, shout out to the Steelers. Absolutely have turned it around. I got a team. Let's talk about the Washington Commanders. We just saw them. What was it, yesterday? Yeah, on MBL Live Broadcast 357. We saw the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders are my deviled eggs. They taste good at first. You really like them. But then after a while, it starts giving you gas, and you start smelling like shit. And that's what happens when you start getting behind these Washington Commanders. You put everything you got into these Commanders. You say they could beat a big team. They show up on the big stage. They just completely poop a brick. And they're my deviled eggs. I like them. I'm excited to see them. And then when I do see them and I eat too many of them and I talk about them too much, I realize, man, this is just an average team, and it's giving me more problems than it's giving me the feel goods when I'm digesting it. So yeah, they're my deviled eggs. Let's keep it moving, Sonny. What do we got?
You really just wanted to talk about deviled eggs. That's why you're asking about it. You were like, I gotta get.
Hey, because I just introduced it to my new family. This deviled eggs, they weren't really doing it right, and when they did it, they did the shell. They left the shell in there. Too many shells in there. What? I don't know what was going on. Someone got lazy, so I called it out. Exactly when it happened. And this year, I'm thinking it's going to be, the game's going to be better. I think it's going to be a little bit more thorough because there was too many fingers being pointed. I didn't do that. You did it. So now we cut the middleman out. It's one person doing it. I'm looking for some shellless deviled eggs. It would be nice this year.
Messed up. That's messed up. You know, at Bomber, I think we're good, right? I think we've got our MBL feast, right? We've called out a lot of the main players here. I think it's Thanksgiving time. I think it's talk about
Wait, we got mashed
what
potatoes. Liv wants to talk about. Liv's Thanksgiving is canned canned
yeah,
cranberries, right, or whatever. What was it called?
yeah.
And then it's turkey and mashed potatoes. And that's pretty much it. And he also brought up Pizza Hut, which I imagine that might have happened one year. So the mashed potatoes of the league, you gotta have them. They're enjoyable, but like you said, you eat too much of them, it doesn't really.
They're mashed potatoes are sometimes hit or miss, right? Like you go to the wrong person's house and you get some really dry ass mashed potatoes that like, these are gritty, these aren't very good, right? Or you go some years and they're really good and they're whipped up and they're smooth and they're they're good to go.
Or
I'm
they got
actually
that
gonna
nice
go
little
with
that buttery little glaze on it a little bit.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Like they're hot and cold, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes this year they've looked like
yeah.
world beaters. Other times this year, they've looked pretty awful. Not gonna lie, right? They're hit or miss.
And you
And I
know
think
who's
just
been
like
doing that
mashed
at a
potatoes.
higher level, a top tier kind of level. Not saying the Eagles aren't in the top tier, but they've shown us that they can break into that top 7, top 6, and then they find themselves at 13-10, right? They're up and down. I'm seeing that with the Seattle Seahawks this season as well. A lot of questionable consistency issues going on there, and this was a team that we thought was Super Bowl bound, going to win a Super Bowl there in NBL season 51. So keep an eye on that as well. Let's go ahead and move forward, though. This is a different segment. Sonny's going to lead us on it. So what are you thankful for this season? And it's going to be an NBL version of this. So Sonny, show us how it's going to be moving. This segment's
Yeah,
going to be going.
look, it's that time of year we got to be thankful for things, right? And just like that, in NBL, people have to be thankful as well. So let's start it off, right? It's been one of those years, and I think the NFC East. The NFC East should be very, very thankful. So when we say what's the NFC East thankful for? The NFC East is thankful that Danny Dimes is the worst goddamn quarterback in MBL, right? Like these New York Giants could have been so good. We thought this team had a shot. Saquon, they got Joe Mixon, they were ready to go, but Danny Dimes is sinking that team. Now they're on to Snoop Huntley. The NFC East now has 2 other contenders ready to win that division. Very thankful for them that Danny Dimes is not the guy in New York.
And crazy thing about the New York Giants are building a franchise. The New York Giants, they are 3-8 right now, and they're not out of it. Washington just lost again. They're now 5-7. Philly 6-6. Dallas 6-6. So you're 2 games out with 8 losses, still with about 6 to go. Our New York Giants are still somehow in it. That's how much better this team is than the rest of the division. It's just the quarterback play being so inconsistent. Yeah, if I'm in the NFC East, I'm very thankful for Danny Dimes not making this team as lethal as they should be. That's a really good one to be thankful for.
Yeah, and let me tell you, let's keep it with the quarterbacks for a second, right? All across NBL, we've got a secondary that is trying to get those interceptions. They want to get paid. They want to get those devs. They want to get higher, right? So they need those breakouts. And so NBL secondaries, they are thankful for Trevor Lawrence. Man, let me tell you, Trevor Lawrence just serving up gifts left and right, chucking those interceptions down the field to all the secondaries in NBL, just making their lives a little bit better, helping them get paid. And so this holiday season, NBL secondaries are very thankful for Trevor Lawrence.
Hey, I got one. I think Jacksonville's thankful for Tennessee beating their division. This is a team, Jacksonville doesn't find a ton of teams they can beat, but that seems to be the one that they can. And they've been in the game multiple times with them. They've beat them already. So that's the one bright spot. And Tennessee's good for knocking off a top-tier team here and there. And you become good by association by knocking them off is how Jacksonville might look at it. So maybe Jacksonville's thankful for Tennessee, and the rest of the league is thankful for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's take it to the NFC for a second. Sometimes in the offseason, there's a lot of hype. And some trades happen, and people are proclaimed the winners and the losers. And so I think we got to talk about the San Francisco 49ers. And they're thankful that their record's so bad. Nobody is talking about how bad that trade for them actually worked out. They traded for TJ Watt. He's not producing.
And
They gave away
traded for
Deebo
Aaron
Samuel.
Donald, and he's not producing.
the front office in the San Francisco has basically been overshadowed at how bad they are because they just can't win on the field, right? Like nobody's talking about them because they win just enough games to kind of like, okay, they're kind of middle of the pack, nobody cares. But they've made these massive trades and they get nothing out of this defensive line that is supposedly one of the best in NBL. I think they should be very thankful in the front office that the on-field performance is not good enough to matter, but just good enough so that nobody's talking about how bad they have been in those off seasons.
Between TJ Watt, Bosa, and Donald, they are looking at around 11 and a half sacks on his season. But you're talking about pay. You want to talk about money. We're talking about $100 million between these three guys. And you're getting back. It's not calculating into wins at all. I mean, defensively, this team is 23rd against the pass. And you brought in all these pass rushers. So San Francisco's got to figure it out here. They have a very young team outside of the parts that they're bringing in collectively. Those guys are 30-year-olds that are trying to figure it out as they collectively play together. But right now, you got 23rd against the pass. That's just not acceptable. You have to be a better pass protection team than that. And I think that's why they're losing. That's why they're sitting at 5-7. They just can't really stop the pass right now.
Yeah. So let's kind of keep this rolling along. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about some protection issues, right, or the lack thereof. Let's talk about who should be thankful for their offensive lines this season, right? When we talk about being thankful for their offensive line, Patrick Mahomes only sacked 7 times this year, right? 232 pass attempts, 7 sacks allowed. Patrick Mahomes, very thankful for an offensive line this year. The big hog mollies, the guys that are going to be enjoying Thanksgiving tomorrow, keeping Patrick Mahomes nice and upright this year.
And Brock Purdy also could be happy for his line. Only 7 sacks. He's gone down on. That's been a lone bright spot for San Francisco as he's been getting the ball out quick and fast. They are at 5-7, charging for that playoff spot. But yeah, just 7 sacks so far on the season against Brock Purdy for a defense that has put this team in a bind and where they have to go one-dimensional. So that's pretty impressive. We all know Patrick Mahomes has got he's got the halfback. I'll slip in the name right now. Number 10. Oh, just seen him on TV.
Oh, Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, they know they got that, and that's definitely helping a lot. You can't really send that kind of pass heat against a team that knows they can gash you for 5 to 10 yards on the ground game.
Yeah. So one more thankfuls this season that is maybe underrated, that most people aren't talking about right now. This team has captured a couple wins this year. Not what we call a premier player in the MBL, but he's somehow snuck out some wins and having a pretty solid season. So I want to talk about the LA Rams for a second. The LA Rams are finding ways to win, and one of those ways they're figuring out how to win is on the back of their special teams. The LA Rams need to be thankful for their special teams, specifically Tre'Vius Hodges Tomlinson. Bomber, I don't know if you know this. Hodges Tomlinson has 2 kick return TDs this year and a punt return TD.
Oh,
he leads MBL with 3 special team TDs on the year, and those are the hidden plays that are allowing the LA Rams to win games.
I got a hidden gem right now. Cleveland Browns, they're thankful for their rookie wide receiver. He was a 5th round pick out of UCLA. Stop sleeping on those West Coast wide receivers. Danny freaking Taylor, and he's a touchdown machine. This guy's got 16 on his season. And he's got, how many catches does he have? He's bringing in 63 catches, 1,100 yards, nearly 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. This guy is a DIA wide receiver, very quick and in the slot, very shifty. He can do it all. He can run the routes, and he's making big plays and taking a lot of pressure off Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Danny Taylor. The Browns should be thankful that their guys haven't gotten hurt and one of those dudes doesn't get suspended for wide receiver 1+2 rules. But that's a whole other thing as our boy Slam just keeps force feeding the hell out of it, trying to win offensive rookie of the year. But nonetheless, this is not the time of year where we bring people down. We just talk about what we're thankful
man.
for.
We were doing Thanksgiving. Be thankful for the mask went off. Danny Taylor at 1160. You got a Joko at 885. and Velais Jones Jr., the saving grace at 391 right now. But touchdowns have been, oh man, Danny Taylor's just going off. Had to bring his name up. Knew it was going to cause division angst. Expected, hey, but it keeps everybody from looking at Deshaun Watson's contract because it's insane. The guy's making a ton of money right now. Is that going to do it for the show here? Or do we got another one?
That's going to do it for the show. That's the Thanksgiving special. I think we shouldn't sully it anymore. If I have to get talking more about these Browns, it could get ugly.
We talk about the Denver Broncos defense all the time. I'm going to bring them up once again, but this is another thing they're thankful for. They're thankful for the Raiders as well. It allows their defense to pick them up, get 5 to 6 interceptions under the belt, keep the momentum rolling, and then they get to show everyone that they're top defense in the league because statistically, who can go against the Raiders throwing them 10 picks a season? And that's going to do it for our show. Happy Thanksgiving. And tell us what you're thankful for in the chat. We're going to go ahead and send this over to YouTube. Let us know in the Discord chat. Appreciate everybody stopping by. This is MBL 360 Podcast, Episode 4. Just a short little pod to get you guys rolling into the weekend. We'll see you next time here on MBL 360. For myself and Sonny, you guys have let's say Merry Christmas. You guys have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Sip. Wasted. Gone. Yeah, exactly, which is always fun when he gets fired up. Nice. See it.